Welcome back, everyone, to some Chautauqua Park Open goodness. Here we are on round 2, back 10. Thank you to Kapai Collision Center for helping sponsor the tournament, and thank you, judges, for buying the coverage. We're starting right off at a hole A, par 3, 192 feet. It looks like one that you got to get, but it's really hard to get. You've got to have so much distance control because you're throwing over a hill really lightly. Here's Kyle Gray up first. And trying to get it to slow down a little bit. Unfortunately, he will have a inside the circle look, but pretty far uphill. Joseph opting for the soft forehand. And coming up a little bit short. This is so hard to get that distance control with. Here's Chad up. Opting for this backhand rhino.
Oh, you almost stayed in the circle.
Yep.
Almost.
Some commentary from Kyle there. Here's David. Nice straight line at the basket.
Woo!
Oh, just a foot
David,
off from the ace.
not that far. To the right. Perfect height.
And finally, Cameron Roberts. Was not expecting the no wind-up. But everybody having a look at the basket at the very least. So here's Joseph first. Oh, just a little undercommitted. It's hard to commit when you have a death putt right there. Cameron from just outside the circle. Almost canning that one. Great bid from him. Perfect height. David from just a couple feet further. Or closer, rather. And just a little low. Definitely a little upset with that one. Here's Kyle from maybe an inch closer. Cashing that one in. High left side still goes in. Some call it luck. Oh, Joseph. Coming up too far on the left side on that par save attempt.
What's funny is hole 11 played the easiest earlier, looking on our card. Which is totally bullshit.
Yeah, y'all all birdied it.
I was the only person that took a par.
Joseph cleaning up that bogey. Definitely unfortunate to be losing that stroke. Chad with the very obstructed putt there. Cannon in that birdie as well, and David and Cameron to clean up their par.
No, the odds were low.
And we arrive at hole 10 proper, par 3, 323 feet. We have this OB creek in the middle. It's only OB if it's surrounded by water, as per usual. But aside from that, we really just have the tight woods on the left and right. So you really just want to get something straight down this fairway and to not skip and slide down that nasty hill. Chad throwing that Mako 3 again. Ending up there on that left side. He'll have a circle, outside circle 1 look at it from there. David opting for the forehand. Definitely a good play here. Nice and straight. Whoa. Nasty skip off of the ground there.
Nasty. That was stupid.
That was not fortunate. That was a great throw from David. Very unfortunate result. He'll have a Outside circle 1, maybe circle 2 look from there, if it didn't roll down that hill too far. Cam overcorrecting for the mistake he made in the first round, turning it over too much to the left this time. He will kick into the middle of that creek. Very low this time of the year with the water being so low and having a huge drought. Very early release from Joseph. This is very strange. He will kick into the thick of it on the right-hand side. So here we get to Cam because we could find his first. We'll have a pretty unobstructed look from here. Just a little Anheuser bit at it. Oh, coming up a little bit short. That's in tester range right there. Here we can see Kyle from off the fairway. And it is nasty on this right side. I would honestly rather be on the left side than the right with how thick it is. Just so many little stick trees. Joseph really struggling to find a spot to even stand. Opting to just lay it up, give himself an easy 3. Chad from this left-hand side here. He'll have a look at it. Pretty uphill putt, probably at an elevation change of 5 or so feet.
Came back and hit me.
Coming up a little short on that one. It's hard to really give it the business when it's that far uphill, because it's just so nose up. You're really fighting against yourself. David giving that a nice bid, just coming up a little bit short. Like I said, on these uphill putts, it's hard. I think somebody said that for every foot of height, you need about 10 more feet of distance.
Yes.
Kyle making good on that one. And this isn't just some random person that said this to me. This is like on Jomez coverage, so, you know, it's reputable now. Cam in that tester range, edge of circle look. Canning that par putt. Definitely the one you want to be making. And it feels a little bit better to only lose a stroke to one player on the card. Joseph in that same boat, unfortunately fighting a very, very uphill battle with only 8 more holes and being even. And 10 back from the current leader. That is a very tough position to be in.
I think you hit the root and the angle of the hill.
And Chad to clean up his 3. And here we arrive at hole 11, par 3, 337 feet. This is probably one of my favorite holes on the course. We have this tight tunnel shot to get off the tee, and then we have this huge downhill plunge. We have this OB creek we're coming over right now, and then we have this nice open area of the green, and the basket kind of tucked away next to those trees. I believe this is a fierce from Kyle, and that's very early. That is bad. That is nasty. Here we go with Chad. Oh, this is a beautiful shot. And that ends up right next to the basket. David nice and turning and fading out right here at the end. Beautiful line. That was feet away from an ace. Cam opting for that tomahawk. And ending up right next to the basket. It's so hard to follow those. I apologize, but that was a great end result. Whoa, Joseph playing with that lowness. Oh my gosh! And then, that was unnecessary. That was unnecessarily mean. Kyle just pitching out, putting himself in position, taking his medicine. This is his invader. I said fierce, but it's an invader. Trying to go right at the basket. He'll have to...
Feel like I'm an intermediate again.
have to work a little bit for that bogey. Joseph from right at the edge of the circle, making good on that too. David to repeat. I'm always a little worried being like right behind the basket in line that I'm going to mess with them and be like, oh man, there's a camera guy right there. So far, nobody's complained, so. That was Cam putting out. For some reason, I was zoomed all the way in. I blame gross incompetence. That jerk's always ruining all my stuff. Kyle in for the bogey. Good cleanup, good medicine taken. Chad just tapping in that too. And arriving at hole 12, we are met with the most punishing tunnel shot in the biz. Well, probably not the most punishing tunnel shot, but it's, it's nice clickbait. But as you can see, there's just trees galore. And then here at the usual landing spot where you want to be, we have this huge uphill to climb, to ascend until we get to the basket. Once again, surrounded by trees. So really, the initial gap off the tee is what you want. As you hear Chad very excited that he made that initial gap. And he is right at the landing zone. 3 is not a bad score to take on this hole.
Oh, sorry, I was listening for shit. Don't want to get him hit.
David also excited about making the gap. And ending up in that great landing spot. Easy 3 from there. You can give it a run if you're feeling extra risky.
Sorry.
And somebody coming right down the path as Blaine is trying to throw. He'll be up on the hill on that left-hand side. It was hard to follow with that line he took.
Sorry, I forgot you were going that way. I saw her hauling ass down the hill.
Yeah, it's on.
Joseph opting for the forehand again. Making the gap.
Trying to stop on her, but it's like, oh, excuse me, Chris.
And ending up in a great spot. Maybe a little short of the gap, but there's a lot of openings over there, so not too upset. Technically speaking, this card should have right of way, so I don't know why they're going down that hill.
Yes.
Yes.
Kyle catching the last tree at the end, but he'll still be in a good spot to get up and down. Here we go with Joseph. As you can see, a lot of windows, a lot of gaps you can get up to the basket from.
Funny is on the amp pad. I think hole
Yeah,
3 is
great
hard to
layup there.
on the amp pad.
No shame in a 3 here. Kyle giving that a little bit of a run, I would say, but he'll end up in a pretty good spot for the 3. Chad and David both in a position where they can run it.
Come on. Great grip.
David had the commitment, not quite enough height. And Chad trying to do the same, but once again coming up a little short. And here we get to Cameron, who ended up inside the circle. This is for eagle. That's not really eagle, but... Oh, and just airballing that one. That is so disappointing with how great of a shot that was. I think everybody was disappointed he didn't make that. I mean, they're all competing, obviously, but they want to see good shots made. And that would have been one heck of a good shot. Kyle in for his 3, and I just can't downplay how awesome that was from Cameron to be inside the circle on this hole. That was amazing. And a whole bunch of pars. Nice little par frame here. That's what you want to walk away with on this hole. Here we arrive at hole 13, par 3, 186 feet. This one definitely a must-get for our pros. We have this nice little tunnel shot here to the left, right to this nice hanging basket and a huge open green. Most of our pros probably going to be opting for the forehand play. Definitely the easiest. Unless you do that. Definitely not the gap you're trying to hit. Thankfully they did clear. Thankfully they did clear up a lot of that right-hand side. Usually it's much thicker, but you can get through a little bit now. David also opting for the big open spot in the sky. Hopefully Cam can make that correction. Yep, definitely throwing much further to the left.
Yeah, I had it wrong for a second.
Should be in a good spot for the 2. Joseph opting for the back end.
Don't do it.
Catching some early trees, but
Why don't you forehand?
getting out into the opening. Chad criticizing his play.
Don't look at me like
Kyle
that.
opting for the forehand as well and hitting the early tree.
Making this one look so hard.
Thankfully, due to how much they cleared, he's got an actual look. Usually you'll have nothing. Yep, and he'll be parked for the 3. Chad from several feet closer. Giving that an honest run. Joseph going long. I thought he actually was much shorter than that. All right. All right. Oh, just a little low. Joseph low, that is. Hey, see, it's a pun. A pun, as they say. David just a little low as well. I will say the basket was swinging, and, you know, that's not fair. Nobody can be expected to putt on a swinging basket.
Yeah, because it didn't swing for all of us.
Chad calling that out, the fact it's swinging. Cam in for the 2. Great putt from him. And great shot, too, making that correction. The rest of our card going to be cleaning up their 3s before we move on to hole 14. A little bit of frustration there. And here we are, hole 14, par 3, 280 feet. This one is a huge, huge forehand spike hyzer if you're right-handy, or right-handy. If you're right-handy, or if you're left-handed, it's a nice left-handed backhand spike hyzer. But it's so right off of the tee that it's so hard to get that angle. So really what you want is like a forehand flip-up play. Let's see how Cam does here. And that's way too straight, and that's right into that tree. Chad opting for the backhand. The force over, I would say. This one fighting out a little bit too early. Not holding that line as much as he'd like. He'll end up about pin high, but just past it. David also opting for the backhand. Oh. Very early tree. It's really open on that side, so it's not like he's in a bad spot, but that's just not a fortunate result from that. Joseph opting for the forehand and hitting really early. He'll be past the basket, but in a straight line, so still about 150 to the basket. Kyle also opting for that backhand line. Not quite getting enough angle on that one. That one fights out a little too much. David on his essentially a re-tee. Oh, hitting another tree. Putting himself right in circle 2 for his par save. Cam getting some nice ground action right there. Putting himself right into the basket. Joseph, very similar spot. Also opting for the forehand. Really high, really early. That's going to be a circle 2 look. Kyle opting for his pig. Putting himself right inside the circle for that one. Probably about 15, 20 feet. Should just say 18 feet from now on. Just like, it's about 18 feet. Chad giving that a nice run. Right off of the top. Thankfully not like skipping and trampolining. David from deep circle 2. Now just coming up a little bit left side on that one. Great commitment. You see it had the zip. Just not the zop. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it makes sense. Nice par save from Joseph. Great putt there. Kyle cleaning up that par as well. That was right in tester range, so that is definitely not a gimme. David for his 4. Cleans that up nicely. Now 2 back from the leader. Leader in this case being Chad, so definitely still a fight. Especially with hole 17 coming up. Hole 15, another one of my favorite holes here. We have this initial gap. This is a very common theme here at Chautauqua Park. The initial gap, and then a lot of up and down. So this mulch pile, no longer there, thank goodness. That was very much in the way. We have no OB on this hole, but we just have the distance and the trees. So this is a common landing place right here. And right around here is where you want to land if you want to go for the eagle. But most people probably going to opt for getting out of the gap, getting into that landing spot, and getting themselves up and down with an easy 3. Cameron opting for the tomahawk once again. And ended up a little short of where you'd like to be. That shouldn't be too bad, but would definitely prefer a little bit more distance on that one.
He did. I saw him. With a backhand, too. He's playing disc golf.
He's pretty solid. He shot.
Here's Chad up. I think this is a Scorpius, a Helios Scorpius. I could be wrong. I don't know his bag super well, but pretty sure that's a Scorpius, judging by how thick that rim is. And look at that turn. Nice and low the whole way. Beautiful shot. He'll be right where he was in the first round. Joseph once again opting for that laser beam of a forehand. Oh, just turning a little too much. Just a little more height next time would be perfect, but shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that is not a great position to be in. Kyle fighting an uphill battle to be in the race. He's only 3 back right now. David hitting and kicking a little bit to the left. Out of position. He's got to make some magic happen. And that is not it. He'll end up right at the landing spot right over there. Here's where Kyle landed, very early right. Opting for the forehand play. Taking off the glasses before they come off. Playing that one a little too straight. Definitely wanted that to fade earlier than that. But he should have a good look to get up and down at the very least. I really thought Joseph was going to throw right there. I was like, oh crap, I got to get in position. Playing this one to the nice left side, just like...
everything.
Holy cow, that thing
There's a
went...
non-magical spot in there.
That thing went super far. Still not up to Chad yet, by the way. Oh my.
Oh, look at it go still.
Super early for Cam there, but great skip off of the ground. David just needs to get up and down, save the 4 and move on. Going for that cool Huck die stamp. Not sure what it is, but it looks cool. Nice and straight. Just skip up to the basket. Move on. Finally up to Chad. Opting for this flex forehand play, which was really confusing to me, given that left side looks way more open. Putting himself right at the edge of the circle, maybe just inside. Cam from probably 80 or so feet away from the basket. Giving that a nice safe run, he'll have an easy 4. Oh my gosh, and if it doesn't roll all the way down... Oh, that was scary. That was not cool. Kyle, great commitment. Just needed a little bit more distance, a little more oomph. There we see Joseph going just so far past everything. He's in the fairway for hole 16 now. Yep, easy layup. That low ceiling with those branches really cuts off the run. Walking away with a 4 is not too bad. Oh, David airballing that one a bit. Chad from just inside the circle, looking at a 3. And a 3 he gets. Nice committed putt. You could just hear it smack the center pole. It was nice and on line. I like to say nice, if you couldn't tell. I'll try and expand my vocabulary with more adjectives. Cam in for the 4. I tried to say par and 4 at the same time, and it just didn't work out. Joseph doing the same. Kyle, I expect to follow suit. And David kind of in that not fun tester range for the bogey. But he's in for it anyway. Hole 16, par 3, 315 feet. This one kind of sneaky difficult. It's not like, outlandishly hard, but you just have this kind of narrow alleyway to go through. You have the sticky tree on the left there that we saw in round 1 that caught up everybody. We have that sticky tree on the right that often catches the smaller arms like myself who are trying to flex it. Chad getting that around everything. He should end up right at the basket, about pin high right.
Cameron, Joseph, Kyle, David.
Energy pretty low. This is a brutally hard course. Hard on your body. It's just a lot of up and down, incline, decline. Cam turning this one over a bit too much. Hopefully fighting through that tree a bit, but I don't have high hopes. Joseph opting for the forehand once again. Oh, right into the tree. You remember I was talking about how, you know, the smaller arms like myself. Kyle also opting for that left tree.
Oh, man.
Understandably upset about that one. David saw Chad had good luck with that backhand, and he just pulls that one to the right. Joseph putting himself right at the base of the wall. David hopefully going to put that a little bit higher. And that he does. Nicely done. Nice touch, especially for that overstable approach shot. Ooh, Kyle coming up a little bit short, getting some of that tree off the throw, cutting him down a little too early. Cutting him down in his prime. Here we got Cameron opting for the little flex putt, little Anheuser putt around the tree. Great bid from him. Hard to get that line along with the accuracy. The line with the accuracy. The line with the height, I mean. Chad not really trusting himself on that one. Should have an easy 3. Joseph cleaning up the par. Nice commitment on that one. Kyle looking to do the same. I don't know how that one did not go in. I guess it was a little too far to the left side and a little high, but not very nice. Cam in for his par. Chad cleaning up the 3. Chad getting a little bit of a razz here.
I heard Phyllis, which is even funnier. Come on, Phyllis.
David cleaning up the par, and Kyle in for the bogey before we move on to the hardest hole, hole 17. To quote the great Matteo, the beast, hole 17, par 4, 548 feet. Here we have what you need to fight through to even think about getting the birdie. You've got about 250, 300 or so feet of just trees to get through. Then after that, if you're up on this hill, then you have about 250 feet. Just a nice hyzer approach shot if you're a right-hand backhand to get to that basket. But really, this is the battle. You see how narrow this is. Chad, absolute prime position. Beautifully shot. That was picture perfect.
That was a super flippy boss.
Cam once again opting for the tomahawk. I love this. Just like as a utility shot, you can get in and out of trouble with it. Getting into a little bit of trouble with that shot. But he should be, I think, on that right-hand side. Oh, not enough turn on that one for Joseph.
Stay in the middle, it's okay. Yeah, I can salvage a par. Birdie's out of the question there.
David turning that one over a little too much, maybe? No, but he made it. He actually made it to the opening. There's a little walkway to get down into the fairway, or out of the fairway. Excuse me. Oh, Kyle just a little too low. Joseph putting himself in a great position to get up and down for that par. Kyle opting for that tomahawk. Hitting a little shrubbery there, a little tree. Easy up and down for par though. Just has to blast it about 250 feet. Here's Cam, got pretty fortunate. Opting for the roller. Just get left. That should be a look at the basket from there. That was a great scramble shot. Skip off that road. David should be in a great position to get a look at the three. Kyle just has to get up and down to the basket. Oh, caught a little early there. And the nasty roll backwards. Excuse me. Chad, probably about 200 or so feet from the basket here. That was a pump to get this far. Nice hyzer skip shot. Ooh, not enough skip on that one. That'll be a bit of a tester for the birdie, but an easy three nonetheless, or easy four, excuse me, nonetheless. Beautiful approach shot from Joseph there. That was nice and soft. Just enough distance. Kyle coming up a little too short on that bid. He will have to settle for a 5.
Get it.
Cam from distance. That was beautiful. Unfortunately, very much out of the running. Chad, not out of the running. Absolutely blasting past everybody. We are on our main road here for a tournament. David in for the 3. It's got my good buddy David Lowe. Kyle in for that bogey. And Joseph able to salvage par. And the final hole, hole 18, par 3, 306 feet. This is sort of just a choose-your-own-adventure hole. Just pick a line, pick a gap, aim for that, hope for the best. See where it takes you. We have this beautiful, beautiful green. I love all the trees here. This is probably the most picturesque hole, just how gorgeous it looks in the fall. And we just have this nice little funnel to the basket the whole way. So really, you just got to make that gap. Probably only need about 250 feet of distance to get this, but just hitting that gap and nice glide here from Chad.
Almost same spot I was earlier.
Skipping up a little bit short of the basket.
I wish I had that blue one, man.
Makes me feel a little better that they struggled to get this hole. Because I always struggle from these pro pads. So it's a little, little uplifting. Cam also opting for the backhand, the rare backhand from Cam. Pulling that one a little too far to the right.
So good earlier and so bad.
He'll be about 150 from the basket from there. David also opting for the hyzer play.
See? Ain't no poking hope.
And he should be absolutely parked for that birdie. Great way to finish your round. Joseph opting for the left-hand forehand. Oh, catching some little leaf.
Caught the very tail end of that.
Knocking him down early. I think that's a Firebird from Kyle. And that's in a great spot. Easy 2 from there. Cameron from circle 3 here. Beautiful line from Cameron. I wanted that for him so bad. That would have been such a highlight. Joseph from just outside the circle. Ooh. Whiffing that one a little bit. Chad from middle of these 2 trees. Cleaning up that that birdie. Victory lap for him. He's well in the lead. And ladies and gentlemen, your champion of the Chautauqua Park Open, Chad Sherbet. Kyle for birdie. Oh, just a little undercommitted on the left side. He's been having that issue a lot today. Not what you want to see. Joseph cleaning up that par. Might be a birdie. I'll have to double check my notes here. David cashing out that birdie putt. Kyle hopefully going to save the 3. Cleaning that one nice and center. Cameron to clean up his 3. And that will conclude the Chautauqua Park Open. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for watching. Huge thank you to my Patreon supporters, Dustin West and Sean Trapp. Thank you to judges for sponsoring this coverage, and thank you to Kapaya Collision Center for sponsoring this tournament. Hope to catch you guys next time.